Yes, hello everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. Me, Dale, and little Ferdinand here as well. Hope he's doing Reese. What a night Monday was, wasn't it? Champions League qualification, and of course news has broke this morning, Dale, that we are in advanced talks with a Saudi-led company, as Ferdinand wants to grab all the attention. Nothing new there. I'm going to put a statement on the screen before we talk about that, and this is what Sky News have said today. A Saudi events company is in advanced talks to become the new shirt sponsor of Newcastle, a deal that will test the new Premier League rules on related party transactions. Sky News have learnt that Sela, which operates in dozens of countries and has organised sports events such as the annual Race of Champions, is in detailed negotiations about becoming the Magpies' biggest commercial partner. Sources have said that Sela was now the leading contender to replace the gambling company Fun88 as Newcastle's sponsor, with Champions League football now back at St James's Park after a lengthy absence. If the talks are successful concluded, a deal could be announced as soon as next month, in time for the replica kits to be manufactured ahead of the new season kicking off in August. It goes on to say, you can read this statement on Sky News, there's loads more, Dale, but first things first, it's not a real surprise for us as Newcastle fans that it's a Saudi company, because we're effectively the PIF owners.
Yeah, it's going to be, you're going to get loads of other people that saying, oh well, obviously we had controversy over the takeover first. There's loads of that there. And all of a sudden now we're getting another Saudi is going to be on with shirts sponsor now, so that you're going to have more backlash from the others going, oh well, look, they're getting this, they're getting that. But the main thing is, yeah, we had a takeover, but like it shouldn't evolve any other particular. If they want to be our spirits, if the company want to become one of us, the Saudi owners want another, let it be. It shouldn't be all about politics at the end of the day. It's football.
I just said to you off camera, didn't I? There was no big kick-off when Sports Direct sponsored Newcastle, when Mike Ashley was here. This is the same thing. The reason why they're getting upset, because there's more money involved.
Exactly. So like obviously the thing, since there's more money getting involved into the club, and then everyone's going to say, oh well, they're only doing this to get more money.
Of course we are, let's not lie.
Like, of course, it's like, oh, you're getting loads of people there, but then if you think about turning away again, you got like Man United's another Saudi man's apparently going for them. Like, a Saudi Arabians trying to book them.
Yeah.
So like, then it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be like, it'll divert away from us, but then it'll go to Manchester, and then once if someone else gets one there, it's all about politics, and it's taken away from football. Yeah, we've got a Saudi order. Yeah, it's like they've done things over there. Well, it's got nothing to do with us. If they wanted to buy us, which they have, I think it's just like they should just get on with it. Like, let's get on with the football and let the football talk.
Look, it's not a huge surprise for us that we're Saudi owned. 80% of Newcastle United is Saudi owned, and we're going to have Saudi companies. We've seen it when we were over and when we played Al Hilal in the friendly in December. We've done all these strategic deals with esports companies and such out there. The scrutiny is going beyond, oh, okay, so yes, you're owned by the PIF. Do the PIF have anything to do with Sela? That's what the Premier League will look at. But we'll get rid of Fun88 deal, finally. They've been around for numerous years. It was a Mike Ashley deal. And if you look at all the commercial deals across the Premier League, the first thing is that we only get $5 million a year, which is pittance.
Yeah, it's like really low on there. But like I say, it's like, if you look through all the Newcastle sponsors the last, about 10 years, it has been like a gambling company. We had like Wonga, we had Fun88. But like I say, we're going away from that, because obviously the Premier League are going to stop that by, I think it was 27 or 28. Like obviously they said, right, shirt sponsors can no longer be gambling like on the sponsor.
You a fan of that?
Yes, I do believe that's good, because like obviously we're trying to, there's like loads of people that are gambling addicts, but like it's kind of like getting it away from there, it's kind of like promoting gambling, which kind of like, I do gamble a bit, but like I'm not that bad, but like it's kind of like propaganda kind of thing. So like, oh, we'll get that shirt sponsor, we get more money and we can get more people betting. So it's kind of like, I can see where the Premier League are trying to cut that out and trying to like promote more football, like more sponsors.
It's a bit like when you got the shop now, you can't see cigarettes tabs anymore. They're hidden behind the counter, and that's where they're trying to stop the gambling sponsors. Were funny, but the point was taken was that 5 million a year, which is out. Obviously now you've seen that article there, Champions League football, which equals more revenue. You look at TV rights, you look at sponsorship money, more attendances, obviously more people come through the doors. It goes on and on. Newcastle will make a lot of money next season, which goes into the transfer market that can be reinvested, and so on and so on. But there was talk that it could be Aramco. Obviously, we're massively into Formula One. I've got my F1 top on the day. Ferrari, come on! Who are you? Just for the people I know who you are, but tell the people at home.
I'm a McLaren supporter for many years, but like I say, we're having a hard time. But
someone has to.
Yeah, exactly. We're just breaking up the grid.
Yeah. So we're going to click off of attack Formula One, but it's a big thing that we're going to have massive revenue. We're going to get all the stick yous are at home. That it's a Saudi company. We're going to get it, but it's part of who we are. And Dale made a fantastic point just before about Man United. They had the Qataris and it was the Saudis. Whoever wants to buy them, it's effectively money makes the world go round, and money does make you successful. You look at Chelsea down the years without Abramovich coming in. They were a mid-table side. Yes, they won a couple of trophies in the late 90s cup competitions, but money helps. Look at Manchester City.
That's what I was going to say. If Man City didn't get taken over,
they'll be a mid-table side.
Would they really? They'll be like bottom half because they weren't really pushing to the top though. So if they didn't get bought, just like exactly where they were, they'll be like battling like relegation. I wouldn't see them like winning. Like out of 6 years, five Premier League titles. I wouldn't say that. Like semi-finals, quarter-finals. They're in this year's finals, Champions League. Would that happen? Would that happen if they got taken over? Would they brought all their stars in, like Yaya Toure, David Silva, Aguero, all them? Would you see them coming over if they didn't get taken over? Probably not.
No, because money talks, and let's face it, Newcastle may have not. Probably wouldn't have if we got taken over sitting in the Champions League place right now. Yes, we haven't gone daft and spent 40-50 million on every single player. We've been sensible with the likes of Matty Targett, Dan Burn, Nick Popes, clever buys. And yes, we have gone a little bit higher on Isak and Botman, and Bruno of course as well. But this will help Newcastle United. This is a positive thing for the club, and I think it will be proved. I don't really necessarily think you have to worry, as I say earlier in the video. It's only if they've got links to PIF. That's the only thing that can stop this deal going through, because, as Dale mentions, they don't want any sponsoring gambling companies. That's going to go in a couple of years' time. And this is obviously an event company. Yes, it's Saudi owned. They'll be seen across TV, Champions League, and obviously Newcastle are trying to dip into the market, because Saudi Arabia, as I've been myself, is a very young country, and a lot of sport is very, very much at the high, like a bit like the UK, where football dominates. But it's a big thing. Whether this deal gets done or not, we don't normally do rumour videos. But because Sky News have it up, it'll have a little bit of source to it, a little bit of credibility to it. But we don't like doing football transfer rumours because a lot of them are based on lies. We'll do the odd one or two if they've got legs. But it's more money, and you can see these come summer. It's going to be an interest in someone who we're going to be linked to, and not just that, who we actually buy.
We're going to be linked with everyone on the market. I wouldn't be surprised if we're saying, Lionel Messi's been linked, Ronaldo's been linked, Neymar's been linked, and Mbappe, he's probably been linked with us. Lewandowski, they're all like Bellingham, Benzema probably be with the next one, but the main thing is I got faith in Eddie Howe. He's not going to go mental and go, all right, I'm going to pay 100 million this, 100 million this. He's going to go he's going to do what he's been doing at the minute, thinking, what do I need to gain strength for the Champions League and the Cup, obviously the League Cup and the FA Cup. So he's going to be thinking, I need to strengthen, maybe have to offload some players, which I can obviously see where he goes, offload players, bring in players. But he's not going to rush into it. He's going to take his time. He's going to be methodical. And you're going to be surprised, but probably with some buys and the links, obviously. But the main thing is I've got faith in what we've got. We just need to get some cover, because obviously it's going to be a long period of time. We're going to be playing lots of footballs. There's going to be lots of niggles and injuries. So hopefully we can get some signs across the board. Some good. There'll be some, I can understand if you get some medium average players, but they'll be there for cover.
Yeah, you're talking about squad depth. Look, this sponsorship deal is definitely going to help that. Eddie Howe will be asked about that, no doubt. And he will have your stereotype journalists asking those questions. A lot of the likes of Miguel Delaney, the likes of Ollie Holt, who Ollie bottled coming on this channel to answer questions around that, because they all went out to Qatar to earn a bit of this, but they're quite happy to sit there and criticise despite being working out in the World Cup. And even people who are owned by the Independent, which is Miguel Delaney's actual company, are Saudi owned. Who would have thought, hypocrites or what? But you will have those journos trying to ask questions about that. But look, it's Eddie Howe will be asked about that, and I'm sure he'll say the right things because he's a clever and so and so. But that was it from me and Dale up in here in Burnup Field. That's where we are today, having some bite to eat. But it looks like Newcastle are set for a new sponsor. It's not confirmed officially, but Sky News are running it, as I say, so it'll have a bit of legs to it. But from me and Dale, see you everyone. Ta-da.
Bye.